Guys, what is going on?
Ultimately, I cut the power to the entire house, and the sound got louder.
Time is running out. A devastating warning is sweeping across the globe, suggesting that the apocalypse may be near. Strange trumpet-like sounds are echoing from the heavens, fueling curiosity and anxiety among people worldwide. Are these celestial sounds signals from extraterrestrial beings, clandestine government experiments, or simply natural occurrences? As scientists race against the clock to uncover the truth, delving into a myriad of theories and speculations, join us on a journey to explore the urgent mysteries that even immortal entities are eager to reveal. Hidden messages that will solve the global mystery. Across the globe, many folks have heard peculiar noises coming from the sky, often likened to trumpets or horns. These sounds, dubbed sky trumpets, have gained fame as more individuals share their encounters online via social media and viral clips. With the rise of the internet and modern gadgets, it's become simpler for people to discuss and spread the word about these odd noises. The origin of these sounds remains a mystery. They've been reported in various locations, spanning the United States, Europe, Asia, and beyond. Sometimes they're faint and distant, while other times they're booming and fill the atmosphere. Descriptions suggest they're otherworldly, adding to their intrigue and a touch of fear. Various theories attempt to explain these sky trumpets. Some suggest they might be natural atmospheric phenomena, perhaps linked to specific weather conditions. Others speculate they could be human-made, stemming from factories or aircraft traveling at high speeds, breaking the sound barrier and creating a loud boom. There's also the possibility that what people perceive as sounds might be illusions or psychological tricks where individuals think they hear something because others claim they did, even if there's no actual noise. The phenomenon of sky trumpets has sparked numerous discussions and baffled people worldwide. As more individuals step forward to share their experiences and recordings, the mystery deepens, turning sky trumpets into a global sensation. People from diverse backgrounds and regions are eager to grasp the essence of what they're hearing. Scientists and researchers are diligently working to unravel the truth behind these sounds. They're examining weather patterns, human activities, and even psychological factors to shed light on this enigma. While some individuals fear these sounds, viewing them as potential warnings or signals from another realm, others are merely intrigued or fascinated by them. Despite numerous speculations, the cause of these strange noises remains unknown, and scientists are actively investigating. Teams comprising experts from various fields, including meteorology and acoustics, are collaborating to scrutinize the noises attentively and gather data to solve this puzzle. Their primary aim is to uncover the reality behind these phenomena rather than relying solely on conjecture. It's worth noting that some folks believe these sounds signify something frightening, such as the end of the world or extraterrestrial activity. However, there's no consensus or solid evidence supporting these notions. Instead, experts in the field suggest that we employ scientific methods and critical thinking to unravel and elucidate these phenomena. Skyquakes are these peculiar loud noises from the sky that nobody has fully explained yet. They resemble booms or thunderous sounds heard worldwide. Stories about them date back hundreds of years, but unlike earthquakes, which we understand fairly well, skyquakes remain a puzzle. They've been reported near the sea and in various regions globally, including Australia, Belgium, Ireland, and across both North and South America. In the United States, one of the earliest mentions of these sounds dates back to the 1800s near Seneca Lake in New York. They were dubbed the Seneca Guns, a term originating from a story titled The Lake Gun by James Fenimore Cooper. There are numerous speculations about the origins of skyquakes, these loud, mysterious sky sounds. One intriguing theory suggests they might be associated with powerful bursts of energy from the sun, known as coronal mass ejections. These immense bursts can disrupt the Earth's outer atmosphere or interfere with its magnetic field. Another hypothesis proposes that they could stem from within the Earth itself, such as minor earthquakes near the surface, sudden collapses of old mining tunnels underground, or volcanic activity. Occasionally, during extreme cold spells, the ground may crack in what's termed a frostquake, or rocks might fracture due to temperature fluctuations, though these events typically occur in localized areas and are well documented. Terms like brontides, which refer to recurring skyquake-like sounds, exist. Along coastlines, people sometimes hear what they call water guns, similar to skyquakes, possibly caused by subterranean events, atmospheric changes, or the accumulation of heavy sediment in river mouths. Nevertheless, these explanations haven't been definitively proven. Historical records such as the Barasil guns in India or the Moodus noises in Connecticut indicate that these enigmatic sounds have intrigued and puzzled people for centuries. Despite extensive research efforts, we still haven't fully grasped the origins of these sounds, especially in regions devoid of seismic activity. This renders skyquakes deeply fascinating and a subject of ongoing scientific inquiry. For years, people have attempted to unravel these sounds, exploring various hypotheses such as atmospheric changes, interactions between land and water, or unusual occurrences deep within the Earth. Yet, even with modern technology and numerous experts on the case, skyquakes persist as a significant mystery. Now let's explore what science reveals about these strange sky sounds, from natural causes to their hidden mysteries, the hidden heartbeat of the world. Every so often, people all over the world report hearing strange noises they can't explain. These peculiar sounds can have various natural and scientific causes. NASA, the space agency, has examined these odd sounds. They suggest that some of the strange noises, resembling trumpets, might be what they call ambient Earth noise. Essentially, this means the strange sounds could just be Earth's background noises, though scientists aren't completely certain. Because of this uncertainty, people can come up with different explanations and further investigate where these sounds originate and what they signify. Regarding natural causes for these sounds, there's something intriguing called microseisms. These are small, continuous waves that travel through the Earth and result from factors like ocean waves, wind, and weather changes. A knowledgeable individual named Michael Longet Higgins, who studied math and oceans, was the first to propose that these gentle Earth waves might originate from the sea. He suggested that when ocean waves collide, they cause fluctuations in underwater pressure. These fluctuations then cause slight shaking at the ocean floor, generating these quiet Earth waves that specialized tools can detect. The characteristics of these waves and their sounds can vary due to factors such as storms, ocean depth, and wave collisions. Furthermore, NASA's special project, Themis, has contributed to our understanding of how Earth's invisible shield, the magnetic field, influences natural sounds. This mission revealed that the edge of Earth's magnetic field, known as the magnetopause, vibrates like a drum when streams of charged particles from the sun strike it. This discovery is akin to discovering that Earth has its own natural rhythm in space. This drum-like vibration adds to the natural sounds surrounding us and is part of a collection of sounds generated when energy waves from space bounce off and produce whistling noises upon encountering Earth's magnetic field. But there's more to these mysterious noises. They could also arise from interactions between the sun's energy particles called solar plasma and Earth's magnetic field. This is akin to witnessing the beautiful northern lights. But instead of seeing them, we're discussing hearing them. Another potential source could be the slow shifting and grinding of Earth's massive rock plates, known as tectonic plates. These movements can generate deep, rumbling sounds. Additionally, our atmosphere, the air above us, plays a role. Changes in weather, such as strong winds or storms, can produce distinct sounds. Furthermore, Earth itself produces its own form of music through various types of shaking and movement known as seismic activities. These activities encompass everything from minor tremors to major earthquakes. Often, these sounds are so faint or different from what we're accustomed to that we can't perceive them. However, using highly sensitive equipment, scientists can detect these sounds. Occasionally, under specific conditions, people can actually hear these unusual noises. Picture the Earth as a vast natural orchestra playing music we're only beginning to comprehend. This orchestra comprises various elements: the rhythm of ocean waves, the whispers of the wind, the sway of the magnetic field, and even the subtle movements beneath our feet. Each element contributes its unique sound, forming a complex and continuous symphony that constitutes the natural soundscape of our planet. Some individuals are skeptical and reject the notion that the peculiar noises some people hear stem from ghosts or aliens. They propose simpler explanations. They suggest that these noises might originate from everyday occurrences such as factory operations, road maintenance, or the squeal of train brakes. These are mundane sounds that we might not typically notice, but could seem unusual under certain circumstances. Nowadays, there are numerous fantastical tales and conjectures surrounding these mysterious sounds, particularly regarding something known as the hum. The hum refers to a strange, low buzz or drone resembling the distant idling of a stationary truck. People claim to have heard this sound in various locations worldwide, such as Taos, a town in New Mexico, USA, or Bristol, a city in England. However, it's worth noting that only a handful of individuals can perceive these sounds. It's a sporadic occurrence. Nevertheless, for those who can hear it, the hum isn't a minor inconvenience. It can significantly disrupt their lives, causing headaches, sleep disturbances, or even illness. It's a significant issue because it affects their daily routines, and they can't simply escape from it. Consequently, they feel frustrated and exhausted because they don't know how to halt the noise. There's extensive speculation about the origins of the hum and other peculiar sounds. Since scientists haven't provided definitive answers yet, people devise their own theories. Some speculate it's something clandestine or bizarre. However, lacking solid evidence, these notions remain mere anecdotes and conjectures. Now let's delve into the imaginative guesses and secret tales surrounding these sounds, where truth and fantasy mix together. The Strange Songs in Zug Island. The people haven't been able to pinpoint exactly where these peculiar noises are coming from. This has led many to come up with their own guesses and imaginative tales. Take the Windsor hum in Ontario, for instance. Some believed it originated from factories, particularly a large steel-making facility on Zug Island. However, no one could provide concrete evidence. When the authorities didn't offer much assistance, it left everyone puzzled and frustrated. With no clear answers, individuals began to wonder if there was more to the story. These guesses aren't just ordinary thoughts, some of them are quite far-fetched. There are stories suggesting that these hums might be part of secret experiments by the government or the military. One project that has gained attention is HARP, initiated by the US Air Force, Navy, and DARPA, a prestigious research group. Some believe that HARP's activities in the upper atmosphere are responsible for these peculiar hum sounds. Others go even further, claiming it's about deliberately altering the weather or controlling individuals' thoughts. However, there's no substantial evidence to support any of these claims. The situation with the Windsor hum illustrates how a mystery can escalate when there are no answers. When officials are uncooperative or withhold information, it only fuels individuals' curiosity and sometimes fear. They begin to fill in the gaps with their own ideas, which can become quite extravagant. And when there's something like HARP engaged in advanced and secretive work, it's easy for stories to spiral out of control. Despite lacking evidence, these theories spread quickly because individuals are searching for anything that might explain the inexplicable sounds bothering them. The people are fascinated by stories about the end of the world, often blending with speculative guesses and tales devoid of facts. This mixture evokes various feelings and thoughts about how the world might end, blending genuine science with stories and deep concerns about things beyond our comprehension or control. The notion of trumpets of the apocalypse originates from an ancient tale in the Bible found in the book of Revelation, chapters 8 to 11. In these stories, 7 angels blow trumpets, each heralding different troubles on earth, such as significant natural disasters or severe illnesses causing widespread damage and suffering. Humans are captivated by these end-of-the-world narratives, and when they encounter strange, unexplainable noises, like the so-called sky trumpets, they sometimes interpret these sounds as warning signs of the end times akin to those biblical accounts. However, it's essential to remember that these ideas are merely speculative, and many experts or religious scholars do not endorse them. The mix of interest in the end of the world and strange, unexplained sounds can really spark people's discussions and thoughts. It covers everything from our natural desire to understand what's unknown to our deepest worries about big, uncontrollable events. When people can't find a clear answer to something mysterious, they might turn to old stories or religious beliefs for an explanation. In particular, these Bible stories about the trumpets have a significant impact on how some people view the world. They talk about big changes and challenges that make people reflect on what's truly important. The idea of the trumpets sounding and causing different disasters is a strong image that has lasted for a very long time. Even though the connection between these strange noises and the end-of-the-world stories is just a theory and not based on solid evidence, it's a topic that captures a lot of interest. People from various backgrounds and beliefs find these ideas captivating. They spark discussions and debates, and although not everyone agrees, these conversations can help people contemplate big questions, like what we believe about the future and how we deal with mysteries we can't solve right away. Despite people worldwide reporting hearing strange noises, these sounds don't exactly match the detailed stories found in the Bible about the end times and the trumpets. In the Bible, the trumpets signal very specific disasters and actions from God, which is different from the vague and mysterious sounds people call sky trumpets today. The modern sounds have been blamed on various things, like natural events, factories, or even just made-up stories. There's no solid proof that these noises are the same as the trumpets mentioned in the Bible's book of Revelation. Some individuals might believe these eerie sounds have a religious significance, but it's important to remember that the major events from Revelation, like the time of great trouble known as the tribulation and the exact order of the trumpet sounds, haven't occurred yet. So these intriguing noises don't really match the Bible's specific signs for the end of the world. Experts in religious studies and the words of the Bible itself suggest that these sounds probably have more to do with normal, earthly things, or are simply being misunderstood, rather than being signals that the world is about to end according to biblical prophecy. It's easy to see why people are intrigued by these sounds and might think they're linked to important religious predictions. Hearing something you can't explain can be very unsettling, and it's natural to seek explanations, even in ancient texts or sacred beliefs. However, when we examine closely what the Bible says about the end times and the specific signs that are supposed to appear, like the trumpets, we see that the current unexplained noises don't match those very particular events. These mysterious noises, often called sky trumpets, have led to plenty of guesses and theories. They've been attributed to many different sources, and while they're certainly fascinating, assuming straight away that they're divine or supernatural might not be accurate. Before we conclude that these sounds are part of a bigger cosmic plan, it's worth considering the more everyday possibilities, like natural sounds our planet produces or noises from human activities that we just haven't understood yet. Next, we'll explore how the news and stories we hear can distort the truth about these unusual sky sounds, how they're ruining honest news reporting. The idea of sensationalism in the media plays a big role in how people react and how news spreads, especially when it's about political and social issues. Sensationalism uses tricks like catchy headlines, making people scared, and sometimes even spreading lies to grab attention. This way of doing things can twist how the public sees things, making them feel strong emotions and react based on info that's not true or exaggerated. In the world of news, sensationalism raises some serious questions about morals because it goes against what reporters are supposed to do: tell the truth in a fair way. When sensationalism is used, with its tricky headlines and spreading bad info, it can really hurt people's lives. Many times, individuals have been wrongly accused or shown in a bad light because of this kind of reporting. It's not right according to the rules of journalism, which say reporters should focus on telling the truth instead of trying to shock people or make things seem more exciting than they are. Also, sensationalism is a big deal in talking about politics. Politicians and different media often use really intense language to get what they want, influencing how people feel and think about political stuff. For example, during past political campaigns, there was a lot of sensational language used, affecting how voters saw the issues and candidates. This kind of news coverage shapes the political stories we hear, changing how the public sees and understands what's going on in politics. Plus, in today's internet world, sensationalism is getting worse because of something called clickbait. This is stuff on the internet made just to get people to click on it and see it. These clickbait things catch our eye by promising something really exciting if we click. But often, when we do click, what we see isn't as great as promised. However, by that time, the people who made the content have already made money from our clicks. This makes more and more sensational stuff because these creators care more about getting lots of clicks than giving us real, detailed info. Also, the problem of strange sounds and the growing number of cities and towns is really hurting wildlife. Animals have to change how they live to deal with all this noise, which can change their eating habits, where they live, and even if they can survive. Think about small bats in England or black-tufted marmosets in Brazil. These animals have been seen changing how they look for food and where they go because of loud noises. They might even avoid places with lots of food if it's too noisy for them to talk to each other. Similarly, noise pollution has caused a 25% drop in the variety of migrating birds in the United States. Some birds choose not to go to places that are too noisy. The problem of noise pollution and its impact on the diversity of life on Earth is gaining more attention nowadays. Significant efforts are being made to address this issue, such as the European Commission's Green Paper and France's regulations outlined in their environmental code. These actions demonstrate a growing understanding that we must safeguard our environment from the harmful effects of excessive noise. To develop effective regulations to protect our natural world, we must thoroughly comprehend how noise affects various animals and their habitats. For instance, studies have revealed how noise alters animals' behaviors. It interferes with their communication, ability to find mates, escape from threats, and locate food. Some birds have adjusted their singing patterns, resorting to nighttime singing to overcome urban noise. Additionally, certain frog species have modified their croaking due to the noise from vehicles. This is significant because female frogs typically prefer the calls of larger, more mature males. If they cannot hear these calls clearly, it becomes challenging for them to find suitable mates. Furthermore, excessive noise can induce stress in animals, leading to illness or changes in their behavior. In environments like national parks, noise pollution has hindered hunting animals' ability to capture prey. It has also caused species like the Sonoran pronghorn, a type of antelope, to avoid areas with high noise levels. When combined with other challenges, such as adverse weather or disease, noise pollution can significantly diminish the population of animals in a given area. The unexpected origins of the trumpets of God. Noise pollution is a big problem for both people and nature. The loud sounds we make don't just bother us, they also hurt animals and their homes. To fix this, we need to think carefully and come up with plans to make less noise. This will help keep nature diverse and full of different animals and plants. The strange noises we hear from the sky, often called sky trumpets, are intriguing to both scientists and everyday folks. Sometimes we can explain these noises by things happening in the air, movements of the earth, or stuff humans do. But we're still trying to figure out exactly why these sounds happen and where they come from. Many experts from different scientific fields are studying these sounds in different ways. Even with all this work, there are still lots of things we don't know about these mysterious noises. These sky trumpets have been heard all over the world, sparking lots of talk and wonder. These noises can be really loud and sound like crashes, banging metal, or a steady hum. Because they're so strange and happen in many places, people have lots of ideas about where they might come from. Some think they're linked to changes in weather or the air around us, while others wonder if they have something to do with creatures from outer space. Even with all the attention they've gotten, especially on social media, we still don't know exactly what causes them. The mystery of the sky trumpets baffles everyone. The strange thing called sky trumpets has led to many different ideas and explanations, showing how much people are curious about things we can't explain. These noises, which sound like trumpets blowing, have been heard and recorded in different parts of the world. People have all kinds of ways to understand these sounds, from science to religious beliefs, adding to the mystery surrounding them. Looking at it scientifically, sky trumpets are usually explained by things happening in the air or stuff humans do. Sometimes the air changes, like when temperatures switch around at different heights, making sounds that seem weird or scary. Also, big machines or factories can make loud noises that, because of how sound travels in certain air conditions, might sound like they're coming from the sky above us. From a religious and cultural standpoint, some see these sounds as messages from a higher power or signs that something big and maybe scary is going to happen soon. This connects to stories from the Bible or other religious texts where sky sounds are seen as important messages from God or gods. Different cultures and religions often see heavenly noises as something meaningful or as a sign from the divine world. But it's important to remember that these ideas are based more on personal beliefs and interpretations than on solid scientific evidence. This has caused a blend of emotions and ideas about the sky trumpets. Some folks are super interested in finding out the scientific reason behind these sounds. They dive into studies about the air, sound waves, and how stuff like pollution might affect it all. They check out how sound can move in weird ways, bouncing off things or bending through different air layers, which can make sounds seem like they're coming from the sky instead of the ground. Others see these sounds as a sign to pay attention to our environment and the changes happening around us. They think these sky trumpets could be a nudge to think about how our actions impact the planet and why it's important to live in sync with nature. Meanwhile, spiritually, these sounds stir up feelings of amazement, curiosity, and sometimes fear. People in different groups might gather to pray, chat, and think about what these sky trumpets might mean. They see them as a chance to ponder their lives, beliefs, and the possible messages coming from a world beyond our understanding. The curiosity about sky trumpets is just one example of how people are fascinated by things they can't explain. This interest touches on science, spirituality, and even wild guesses. Some think these sounds have a hidden or spiritual meaning, while others only believe what they can prove with science. It shows how differently people can see and feel about things they don't understand. Even with a lot of work to figure out what these sky trumpets are, many questions still don't have answers. Researchers from different fields are working hard to learn more about these sounds. They want to know where they come from and why they happen. But even with all this work, folks can't agree on what these sounds really are or where they come from. The sky trumpets remain a big puzzle, showing that there are still many things in the world we don't know about. This curiosity about the sky trumpets shows how humans love to solve mysteries and understand the world around them. For some, these mysterious sounds might seem like a message from another world or a sign of big changes. For others, they're a puzzle to crack using science and logic. This mix of opinions leads to lots of different ideas, from strange weather patterns to secret government tests. The ongoing puzzle of the sky trumpets has sparked many talks and debates. People from all walks of life, whether they're scientists, spiritual leaders, or just curious folks, have joined the chat. They share their thoughts, swap experiences, and talk about new ideas online and in meetings. This teamwork shows how mysteries can bring people together, even if they see things very differently. Are strange sky noises a mystery or just nature's tune we haven't figured out? What do you think? Share your thoughts, like, and subscribe for more.